how many valid points that German woman had, or if she was right or wrong. She don't get a chance to speak on black women, black love, black marriages, and black anything.
Oh, yes, I do, because I am proudly married to a Black American man. And while I lived in America, I have seen a lot of women way too entitled, with a bad attitude, with a foul mouth, disrespectful. And sometimes it even seemed like they don't want a Black man to find happiness, or even for him to have a smile on his face. Now, you may wonder why I would say that, because I know women have a problem to congratulate a man. They rather hate whatever he achieves. And then they would act like, oh, I don't care if that man dates someone else. I don't care if that man dates somebody from Europe. I don't care. He can go ahead and do what he wants. We don't want him anyway. Well, if you don't care, why are so many of them getting mad? I don't understand that part. But before we get into today's video, everyone, I would like to thank you so much for supporting.
She come up here, they coming for her. They saying, why are you, because she been putting out a lot of content, shout out to her. And they saying, why are you speaking on this stuff? You can't. But she said, I can. So here we are, Mr. Walker.
And it's effective. Yeah, especially today's modern folks, men and women. Modern folks today are so easily triggered. If I was her, I would do it too. Even if she didn't care, I would still do it. Because if you don't look like them, we've seen it. Then we haven't we, Rockwell? If you don't look like, you better not say ish about them. Otherwise, they hair catch on fire and they ready to shoot lasers from their eyeballs at you. So they like, it ain't got nothing with her being right. That's what Bonquisha said. It don't matter if she making good points. It don't matter that her message is valid and it's observable truth. You should not speak on it because you not like us. So you can't say nothing. So if you're not like us, you can't say nothing. If you ain't dark enough, you can't say nothing. If you can't relate to the struggle, to the darkest depths of the struggle, you can't say nothing.
Well, I'm not. I mean, it doesn't bother me what she says because it don't apply to me. So, long as it don't apply to me, it don't bother me. But here's the thing: black women have been telling other black women, you need to lose weight, you need to check the attitude, you need to do this, that, and the third. Now, seeing as how you all don't want to listen, let the little white girl tell you what to do then.
And let me ask you this: if there was a white guy up here, let's flip the script. If there was a white guy up here and he was married to a black woman, and he's doing content like her, and he's talking to black men, he say, y'all need to stop sagging so much. Stop, stop shooting each other. I wouldn't take no offense to that because it's true.
It's true.
Right.
There you go. The hit dog will holler. It's true.
But you will have men that would be offended by hearing that from a.
Show me them. You show me those men, and we'll have a conversation.
When there's been plenty of white guys that got on here and said some things, and the black men were offended because of it. So it is a matter of being offended when someone from the other majority says something like that. But I don't
agree with it. I don't agree with
it. Yeah, we've seen that all across the board.
Depends on what they say. It don't mean you can.
I'm not saying anything is wrong with what they say. I'm saying, seeing as how you don't listen to the people in your own culture, then you might as well listen to somebody else that's not into it.
Here's the instance: if that same guy that was sitting here telling people they need to stop sagging, stop shooting each other, if he was just coming up here all out, just saying, you black guys are broken, dusty, and just paint with a broad brush, then he would be out of pocket.
Right. I mean, and that's the way the women feel that she's talking.
She don't
out of broad brush, out of pocket. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it doesn't apply to me. I ain't never been no baby mama. I ain't never been from a broken home. I don't know any of those things. So that stuff don't bother me when people say it. I'm saying it bothers the other people when she says it because it's a stroke of bad. It's a broad stroke, because a lot of us were born in 2-parent home. A lot of us were born, and it don't bother us. It bothers the people that know that this applies to your life. And I get it. If it applies to your life, you might be offended. But since you're not listening to the sisters who tell you need to not be a hyena, or the men who tell you need to lose weight in your own culture, seeing as how you're not losing weight, let the young lady speak what she's speaking, speak the facts. Don't be upset because you don't want to listen, right? I tell you to lose 5 pounds, you tell me to go fly. I tell you not to be barking at a man. You tell me I talk to him any old kind of way I want. Okay. Since you want to do what you want to do, don't be mad at the sister or the white sister who come over here and say some stuff that you don't like. Don't be mad at her.
I agree with the person who said it in the chat. Why does it matter where the truth comes from?
Because the messenger always matters. A fat person can't tell a skinny woman how to get a man.
Wait, no,
the messenger man.
Can a fat person tell a skinny person the dangers and hazards of getting fat?
Because they're fat, of course.
So they can. So okay, they can. So that's what I'm saying.
And I'll say it depends on what she's saying. She's not sitting up here saying black women got nappy hair or something like that. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, she ain't poking fun.
I mean, I'm not saying it's correct. I'm just saying the message. It depends on who you get the message from if you're going to receive the message. I'm not going to sit here and have a man tell me how. I'm not going to sit here and have another woman tell me that I'm talking this, that, and the other, this, that, and the other, and not listen to somebody who actually has the capacity to tell me something. We not listening to nobody. Us black women are not listening to anybody tell us that we too fat, that we got a big mouth. You ain't listening to nobody. So why not listen to this young lady who has valid points? She may or may not be the messenger. I don't think she should be the messenger because
for what?
Because they're not going to listen to her. They're going to see it as a challenge. They're going to see it as criticizing. That's all I'm saying.
They're not going to listen to anybody. They don't listen to married men, married women, single women. It don't. Who the freak do they listen? They listen to nobody.
What's the premise? Your premise has always been let them drown. Ain't that the premise? Because they don't want to do what they don't want to do what people tell them to do. Let them drown, right?
All right. Well, listen, real quick. I'm gonna let the video keep going. I'm gonna let Raquel get in here real quick so we can get through this video. What you got?
So I get what HQ is saying. I agree with everybody. I like this lady.
Right.
And I don't think that her message is wrong. I think that she's getting lost in it. You know, my mother is a Spanish woman who grew up in Germany due to Spain's depression. She speaks Spanish and German, and all my life I grew up in Germany. There are lots of fat German women, period, bottom line. Hairy, fat German women. And I haven't watched her content, but I'm curious, does she talk about fat German women? You know, she seems to be very modern herself and just, you know, and, you know, sometimes I have to tell my mother, just because you have Black children doesn't mean that you can speak on all Black things and be well received. Right. So like, it's just the dichotomy of the fact that you are not a Black woman. And if the only message she has is that it's Black woman, Black woman, Black woman this, and she's never speaking about German women, you know, that's when I'm starting to pull back a little bit, because I think that, and I know German women who think that because they have an American Black man, that makes them somewhat better.
Well, let me ask you this. What if she's not competing with German woman? She dates a Black man. She's competing with Black women still for her man to this day.
She's definitely competing with German.
So that'll be like somebody like LeBron James up here talking about football.
But if your husband is married to you as a German woman, then other German women are your competition. Why are you dogging Black women? Right. Why does it matter? Because your husband didn't pick a Black woman. Right. Your husband picked a German woman. Right. Your competition is women in Copenhagen who are fucking knockout gorgeous. Right. Okay.
So hold on. So what's the marriage rates in those countries? Are the women
very high, and the men are very affluent.
Are the women as chronically single as these women here?
Now, see, I don't know that. I don't know that. I grew up on an army base around German women who were all married to American Black men.
Right.
And I can tell you that their competition were the other white women in proximity to these black men in Germany. So
I agree with you. I think two things is true.
So why is she having a conversation with black women?
Well, hold on. I'll say this.
Black women ain't your competition.
I'll say two things is true. She's obviously up here for, you know, business purposes, monetary gains, but at the very same time, she's not lying. So
no, she's not lying. I don't agree that she's. I agree with you. She's not lying. I agree with her message. I think it's a valid point.
She might not be the messenger. Here's the thing about YouTube: people don't have to listen to her if you don't like it.
That's
totally.
and that's my point. I believe at this point, I think she got her message off. And like you said, now she coming across pretty kind of, I ain't gonna say aggressive, but she kind of stern about it. And that's because one thing, listen.
But we got the other side of the coin, Mr. Walker, though. She catching hell. So we only can see her. But she getting DMs, emails, videos about her. So a lot of this is responding.
Here's the thing.
And this is a problem with melanated folks, men and women. We too easily triggered. That's why I laugh at stuff. I'm not on that blacky black. If it's black is right thing,
right?
Because we got issues, and melanated folks are too easily triggered.
Yeah, but here, listen to this.
And every melanated woman upset because this woman came up here speaking truth, and because she don't look like them, now they trigger. Here's my thing. That's fine. Be triggered. Say what it is. Say, you know, she shouldn't be doing it. But when you get triggered and upset, does she not have power over you? This woman could come up here on the internet and say, hey, modern American women, include melanated women, aren't submissive and don't get married. And now a large group of that society come up here and start screaming, yelling, and throwing stuff at the screen. That's weakness.
And let's be clear. Let's be clear, HQ. Everybody, she has never once said black women.
Wait.
Never once. Never once. Y'all to hit dogs. Y'all holler. She just says modern women. She has never said anything about black women. That's not her thing.
Wait a minute, but listen to this one little fact. And Raquel said it. And it just occurred to me. Why is she saying what she is saying? She knows that resonates with black women. Is she saying what resonates with German women? No, she's not. So her audience has always been black women. Her audience was never no modern women. Her message was black women. Like Raquel said, if she was really truly competing with her women, the German women, she would have a different message. She has a message for black women.
Listen,
this is a poke in the eye.
Well, here's the deal.
Poke in the eye to the black women.
Here's the deal. She also has black children. Maybe she wanted to see a better world for her black sons and daughters to date and make black women. And it could be deeper. Y'all just drawing your own conclusions.
Well, she got the wrong competition.
I'm a mixed child of a mother who speaks German, who grew up in Germany, and I can guarantee you that like, although what you're saying is very idyllic, let's just call it what it is. Right. Not all the time is it kumbaya, I'm going to build a rainbow child. They very much feel like the better option. Right. And you know, I'm not saying that is her stance. I'm not saying that, but seeing her, like what it's developing into, and I get it, like I get dragged online too, but to what Mr. Walker is saying, if it's not true, why am I getting triggered?
So let's get into today's video. I am not going to talk about the video that went viral months ago, but I'm going to talk about the woman's attitude and her choice of words. Let's get into it, everyone.
And this is coming from a black woman that's been with her black husband for 15 years. And I rap for black men. You understand what I'm saying? The problem is...
Yes, I understand. And what is the problem? The fact that there always has to be a problem is a problem within itself. I mean, why do things, circumstances, and situations need a constant explanation for everything? I mean, why can't things just be, right? Why can't we just accept the fact that there are women who want to work with a man, who put a smile on the man's face, and they don't ask for anything in return? Why do we always have to talk about problems? There are always going to be problems. If we are waiting for all problems to have a solution, we're always going to be alone and miserable. But if there's something that I can do better today, each and every day, even if it's just a little thing, by packing a man's lunch or picking him up or picking something up for him, that's what counts right now. I don't need no explanation. I don't need a problem to be solved. I don't need any of that.
Black men and black women are failing each other. We're not hearing each other. We're not loving each other. We're not respecting each other. It's too much trauma. And what's happening is we're starting to look at other races as though they are our savior. You're my savior, a white man or a white woman. And all. Don't you see what the fuck is happening?
But that lady is using way too many fucks in her speech. And did she ever wonder why it may be that black women and black men seem to fail each other and don't hear each other? I don't think it has anything to do with any trauma. I believe it has more something to do with it that women don't want to be told anything. Their ego flew over their head. It's way too big for their own good. Unless he's a real man, you can't tell a woman nothing. Unless he is the real man, he can do nothing for her. She can have and do everything on her own. But this is my humble opinion. If a woman is not able to listen to a woman like myself, she is never going to listen to a man. If we cannot talk amongst one another, a woman will never be in a position to talk to a man. I'm sorry that this is a conversation on a whole different level, which I'm going to have to make a whole different video about. But unfortunately, a lot of women have messed up mouths and attitudes.
Women need men.
No, of course not.
No, fuck no.
No. Why? Can't live with them, can't live without them.
We do not need them. Not at all.
No. We the prize.
A little bit, but not really.
We want them, but don't need them, baby.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. We the new niggas.
We are the men these days, though. We are the men.
So what can you possibly tell a woman with this type of attitude? I mean, would you be surprised that men are actually running off to find a woman that is a tad bit more feminine? And it really doesn't take much to be more feminine than the ladies that you have just seen in your clip. So,
So here we are. What you got, Mr. Walker? I'll let you go.
Here we go. No, because here we go, man. I got a bit of attitude because, folks in the chat saying, why are we talking about melanated sisters? We said it too many times. You show me another group of women that share the same rhetoric, and I'll eat these glasses. Show me another race. It's very, very race specific. And again, consider the source, consider the messenger. Ain't none of y'all ninjas blacker than me. I promise you. No, it's a black problem. These women is goofy. Well, I don't need no man. We is the new ninjas. Show me another racist. Show me them, please. And then we can expand this conversation and this judgment more broad. But until then, it is very specific. Only our melanated sisters up here. I wish my wife would come up on the internet talking like that, sister there. Like she said, dropping F-bombs like that. All aggressive. She make her husband look soft. Now,
wait a minute, was there other women? Were there other women on the online saying anything about what she was saying? Was there less melanated women online saying something about what she was saying?
I can tell you that other German women don't care what she's saying. So it's not like, her people aren't watching her.
Oh, so she did get on here and not say black woman specifically.
She never. No.
She got on here and she never said black woman.
And let me just say, I don't have TikTok, so I don't know like where she blew up exactly.
I don't either.
I don't really see her like on my Instagram feed, and I don't really see her on my YouTube feed either. It's more like the guys' channels, to be honest. And you now, HQ, like you've been in my feed so much, so I've been on your channel a lot. Okay. But I it's just, Mr. Walker, I feel you. I get what you're saying. I do. I just because I know these people, it's just like in her she's, I don't want to say this, but kind of in the same category as my mother and my aunt. They married Black men, so they're outcasted. So, you know, her family might still love her and talk to her, but they definitely talk about her choices in life to marry a Black man.
Right.
And I can get where you feel ostracized from your group and you want to go into another group, right? Because I'm a person that's constantly like diving back and forth between the two.
Right.
So, and I get that. And again, I have to tell my mom a lot of times, just because you have Black children doesn't mean you're Black, you know, and I'm sorry about that. And I'm sorry that the world doesn't see me as a white woman. I just like, ugh. If when I bring up the TikTok thing, usually on TikTok, there's a nice feed of people who like agree with you and people who don't agree with you. I feel like maybe we should start moving into the Black women who are bigging her up, you know, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of Black women who are like, girl, we hear you. I agree. You know, in the beginning, when this first came out, there were a lot of women that were saying that.
Right.
They were saying they agreed with her, and that it's sad that she had to say it to make everybody be in an uproar.
There we go. Hit the like button.
So I really can't blame these men. And you know what actually happens when a woman says that she doesn't need a man, that she just has one when she wants one? That means that she is running around the streets. She is out there in them streets, and she's going to spread her legs whenever she feels like she wants to have a man. That is not feminine within itself. A woman is not supposed to run around and give herself away to a man whenever she wants to. Every time a woman gives access to random men just because she feels like she wants to have a man at that moment is losing a part of her femininity. Ladies, that is not ladylike. And you know what? These women are always talking about being traumatized. Sleeping around with multiple men is actually a way to get traumatized, but you will not notice it in that moment. The trauma will come out a lot later. And ladies, the only thing that you will gain when you're sleeping around with random men are bodies that you could add onto your body count list in your whole pad. And that is all, nothing more, nothing less.
What the fuck is happening? She has not walked them out in a Black woman's shoes. She has not seen what a Black woman have seen. She has not experienced the trauma that a Black woman experienced. That's the same thing with white men. White men have not walked a mile in Black men's shoes. You understand what I'm saying? They are not out here being racially profiled. So for Black people, Black women and Black men to look at that and say, well, she right. She had valid points. I don't give a fuck how many valid points she had. You still got Black women out here like myself that's pushing Black love, that's telling you, hey, this is how you do it. Now, some women might get it and some women might not. The same thing. We need more Black men that's in love with Black women, that respects Black women, that protects Black women to step up and say, yo, this shit that we seeing online, this shit ain't real because we still out here. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't nobody white gonna be able to tell me anything about my own people.
You need Black men to love Black women. I would say that I need modern Western women to start respecting an average working class man before we are talking about loving one another, because love is a result coming from respect. And in my opinion, I don't need to walk in the shoes of a Black woman in order to know how to love a man. It took me 2 months in America to realize, maybe even shorter than 2 months, that there is a lack of respect and a lack of love, a lack of feminine energy. I provided those 3 things. That's all I've did. I have not even done anything special. But if a person has a problem loving themselves, they will never be able to be in a position to love someone else. And that is so true. I'm not going to say that I knew everything about spirituality when I was 18 years old, the time when I met my husband, back then boyfriend. I'm just saying, but I was in the position of learning. I was in the position of wanting to grow with my husband. I was in the position of giving him what I was able to observe he didn't really have. And this is the truth, because so many people in the comments, they actually told me that I was right. And I am not talking about all women in America. I know ladies in the comments, I know there are fabulous women on my channel who are thinking like me and who are acting like me. Not everyone is out here talking about that they don't need men. But if you don't make a man feel like he is needed, what is that man gonna want to stick around for? Women like myself are here trying to give advice to women how they can improve as women on how to do better for themselves and for their partner, even for their future partner. But in order for that to happen, us as individuals have to admit that we have flaws. We have to admit that we don't say the right or do the right thing all of the time. And the moment you notice and you acknowledge and accept the fact that you need to learn to do better, that's the first step to.
They know they need to do better. They just ain't learning from you, Saraya. And it's unfortunate, sister. So here we go. We're going to get going. We're going to roll the timeouts out because I see y'all in the chat, even though we're on our best behavior tonight. All right.
Man.
Here we go. What you got, Mr. Walker? Go ahead.
I'm a bit torn, man. I don't understand what's wrong with what the sister is saying. Again, and listen to what the melanated sister saying, the sister that shares my reflection up here. She's saying she don't give a dang how many valid points she giving and how much truth she telling. She cannot identify with the struggle, i.e. she ain't walked in melanated women's shoes. That's what I said. I do not agree with this. It is not good for the group. How would I have been growing up trying to become an athlete, and I said, if you don't look like me, you can't teach me nothing. All my coaches, they look like me, by the way. About one of them. That's it. So I know that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't listen to somebody because they don't look like you. That is so detrimental, and it's immature and childish. You see her, she talking about she been married for 15 years again, ladies. She making her husband look a little different. Like, she just don't care about logic, don't care about correction. I will take correction from anywhere. If I'm sitting there at the barbershop, not the one I'm at now, shout out to Brother Brooks, but my old barbershop, and there was some drunk sitting there talking, and if I caught some things that made sense, I would hold on to them. That's y'all problem. Y'all don't know how to listen. Y'all too busy talking. Y'all get triggered. If somebody say you're fat and you get mad, you probably fat.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with what she's saying. I'm saying it's the messenger, and that's the problem with people. I'm saying that's the problem that she's having. That's it. Because there's plenty of dark-skinned black women, light-skinned black women who are saying the same thing as her. And they're not having the issues that she's having. So apparently it has to be the messenger, clearly. 2, I don't see a ring on her finger. Is she really married?
Raquel, she has a very understated, like me. We don't wear, like, I see she has a band on, but
no, she don't have no ring on her ring finger.
Oh, that's not her ring finger? Okay.
No, that's her right hand right here. She don't have no ring on her ring finger. Married. So I was like, okay, she's not okay. Maybe she is. I don't know.
Yes, she is. She been with her husband. She been with the guy for 20 years.
Well, so she say. I could say I've been married 100 years, and they believe me too. So, case in point. But the whole point is, she comes on. She says she's talking to modern women, but she's doing specific scenarios in her speech that are related to black women. So I'm saying.
Oh, wait 1 second. Only thing she's saying is modern women, Western modern women. But your words, HQ, all of her examples for Western modern women just seem to.
And I would not have said anything different if Raquel would not have said that woman is not addressing her own country.
Mr. Walker, what HQ is saying is, we know she's getting dragged, but in the clips that she chooses to broadcast as she's making her point, it seems to be geared one way, you know. Right. Like, I know that there are big white women.
And hold on, that goes back to what I asked last time we came to this fork in the road. I asked you, what are the marriage rates where she's at? Is it as bad? Because maybe she don't identify with that community. Do we not? I mean, what are we talking about?
Okay, again, if I have a YouTube channel and I'm talking to people and there are tons of people in the comments, white, black, otherwise, when I go out there to pull my clips, or if I'm at CDC and I have to talk about an audience, I'm going to talk about all of the demographics that fall into that audience, just because that's just in journalism, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to say, in this 45% of people, this women here, men here, you know, like, so it just, I'm not disagreeing with her. I don't disagree with her. I just feel like it's starting to feel like she's talking to just a specific group of women.
Now with that, okay.
And I think two things is true though. I'll let you go, Mr. Walker. I think
two groups of women saying color. Like I don't think that if she wanted to talk about modern women, then why aren't modern women across the gamut being displayed in her YouTube videos? I'm thinking she's a little biased.
Absolutely.
And I'm a writer.
No, stop. Here we go. That's fine. Okay, and I will accept that. But here's the thing, man. You're saying now it seems like her message is more tailored. How can it not become more tailored to our melanated sisters whenever they're the only ones responding?
Well, and just so I only, you know, I only watch y'all, and I'm only on Instagram and Facebook with my family and friends. So I'm in a little bubble. I've been married and with the same man too for 20 years. So all this dating stuff is scary to me. And
here's my question. Why don't somebody else do it then? I don't agree that she should be the poster child, like on the Mount Rushmore. She's not that, but she's not up here lying. And my question is, why are y'all so triggered? Why isn't there where's the group of black women with the same message that we can listen to? I don't see them.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's not a matter of being triggered because of what she says. It's because because people keep saying she didn't say it for it to be for black women. Yes, she did say it. Yes, she did tailor it to black women because black women are responding. I don't see her saying, well, hey, German ladies, if you want to keep a man, you make your potato salad with raisins. She ain't saying that. She ain't saying something specific or tailored towards German women. She's saying things that are tailored towards black women, mostly black women. So that's who her audience, that's who she wanted her audience to be. And I'm saying, don't come up here with a false premise, like a false flag, like you're really trying to give advice to all women when you're really not trying to give advice to all women.
She's not, because clearly she said, I'm married to a black man. You can hear the accent in her voice. It's obvious who she identifies with and who she's talking to.
So she's talking about black women.
She's not up here with Taylor Swift music in the background up here.
So why didn't she tailor it towards white women? Or German women? Why they're modern women. Hold on, they're modern women too, though. They're modern women too. So why is she
that's the whole thing, Mr. White. That's the crazy thing. You got to go on her channel. She don't just talk about black women. She don't. So that's not true. That's all y'all hear and see. She talk about white women. She talk about all women. She have videos of different demographics of women.
I'm gonna go to her page and I'm gonna subscribe and watch some videos.
But obviously, we know what the bulk of it's gonna be. We know what the bulk of it's gonna be is YouTube. There ain't these kind of issues in other communities. There's not a niche. There's not a German niche where there's German women chronically single with a bunch of bastard children, and they got their version of a Kendra G show. It don't exist.
No, definitely not. Definitely, there are not very many babies in Europe being born out of wedlock. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that in Germany, the marriage rates are higher for German women than black women.
Right.
I am saying that. I'm just saying that I know that her pushback isn't just coming from.
Well, the thing is, she's trying to help. This is just like rest in peace to the Godfather.
You're not helping. You're not helping because
people are trying to help. Hold on, HQ. When people are trying to help, y'all become the hit dogs, getting y'all feelings. She started off trying to help y'all become better women. She see the marriage rates are at 20%. She said, let me get some game because I know how to get a husband. Y'all got triggered by it. She went up here like, oh, look at these nappy head black women turking in the street. Oh, they stank and dusty. She wasn't saying that.
Well, you might as well have said that because that's the way they take it.
That's the way they take it. You're making the point, HQ.
That's far to the left.
That's the way they take it.
So
they hear criticism. It's not. I'm telling you.
Whose problem is that? Whose problem is that? Whose problem is that? Whose problem is that?
It's their problem.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
And I'm telling you, it's the messenger. People say, why ain't they listening? It's the messenger.
Listen,
it is what it is. I can't help it. I can't help it. You cannot. Here's the thing, and I'm going to speak how they would speak. How are you coming over here telling me about men? And you ain't no black woman, so you can't tell me how I feel.
Because she got your black man.
You can't. I'm telling you how the black women are taking it. I'm not saying that's how I take it. It's not
your
me.
black man.
I'm not saying it's me. I don't have a problem. She doesn't trigger me. I don't care what she says.
Well, that's what she gonna say to them. They saying, why can't she talk? Because what they
I'm
desire.
Saying the women. I'm saying the women.
HQ, you can't sit here saying she don't trigger you the whole time you sitting here triggered.
You don't trigger. No woman on this planet is gonna trigger me after being married.
You trigger right now. You are triggered right now.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question. If she ain't the messenger, if married black men like me and Mr. X ain't the messenger, because they don't take us too well either. Who is the messenger for our melanated sisters who have the lowest marriage rate and the highest single mom rate? Who's the messenger?
The only messenger that it could be is another black woman, but they don't listen to black women. So that's the only person that they would probably take that message from. Remember how when men come and try to talk to them, they say, well, you ninjas ain't jack, so I ain't listening to you.
That ain't even true.
That's how they respond to men talking to them.
But they're not going to take it because there are women out here doing it. I'm not going to say there's none. Shout out to my girl Dee Dee. Hold on. Shout out to Dee Dee over there. Make sure y'all subscribe. Right. Shout out to my girl Danica Marie.
Right.
Crimson Cure. There are women. Yes. You go into these chat rooms, there are majority men in the chat rooms. There are never women watching these shows, super chatting. It's like 95% men in these rooms. The women don't want to hear the damn message when there are women like her cooking like this. But they don't care who it is. They don't want to hear it. So hold on. So unless you come up here sounding like Cynthia G, they don't want it, or Sprinkle, or Ashley Dalton, they don't want to hear you.
Okay, but listen to this. I'm giving you a message that you need to be fit, feminine, and friendly. I am black melanated sister. And then you have the German chick over there talking about you need to be fit, feminine, and friendly. Who do you think the black women are going to listen to first? They're going to listen to me first. It's the messenger. Has nothing to do with the message. They're going to listen to me before they listen to her, because they're going to look at me and say, okay, maybe I have something in common with her. She's dark-skinned sister. She's been married 30 years. She understands the struggle. She understands, boom. And then you got the German chick over here talking about, you need to listen to me. You need to be feminine. You need to be feminine and friendly and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. They're going to listen to me before they listen to her. It is the messenger. Okay, that's it. What she's saying, nothing wrong with what she's saying. They're just not going to listen to her because they don't relate to her. Period. That's it. Had nothing to do with
but it has nothing. But here's the deal: it has nothing to do with the color of her skin. I just named you 5 women who have 1,000 people in the audience. There'll be 1,000 people. 950 of them are men. And they cook. They don't want to hear this message. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to improve.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they will listen to me before they will listen to her. Before they will listen to her.
Because you 9 times out of 10, you're going to tell them the wrong thing to do.
Not that they're going to listen to me.
No, they only going to listen to you when you tell them the wrong things.
This Danica Marie is telling them good things. Crimson Cure is telling them good things. What do you mean?
That's my point.
And that's what Mr. Gavin is saying, or Gavin is saying. He's saying, HQ, that even when it is a black woman sending the message, women aren't showing up to hear it. It's black men showing up. And I would like to say that I bought Crimson Cure's book. I love Crimson Cure. I love how she gives the little presentations with what she's saying. I think I find her
at the very same time, if you go over while Sprinkle going live and it's 3,000 people in there and 2,900 of them are women, and when Cynthia G at her channel and there's 2,000 or 3,000 and 95, that's what they watch. They tune into that.
I never watched Cynthia G. I
Yeah,
thought
but
she
my
was
home-
very horrible. I thought she was a horrible person. I'm glad she got removed, but yeah,
But the thing is, I'm not saying anything is wrong with her. I'm saying the same thing as you, Mr. Gavin. There's men in these chat rooms, but before they listen to her, they're going to listen to the Cynthia G, or they're going to listen to the Shira 7, or they're going to listen to Miss Crimson Cure before they listen to her. I'm not saying that she doesn't have a noteworthy.
No, they're not. They're not going to listen to Crimson Cure. Quit putting Crimson Cure in that boat. They're not going.
Crimson Cure got a big audience
of men. And there are women, but they're married women and women that are like they're not these hyena ratchet women. They're not the women that watch Sprinkle Sprinkle do not watch Crimson Cure.
I agree with that totally. Yeah,
yeah, but Crimson Cure is. Yeah, but Crimson Cure, I mean, from my understanding of her content, because I only listened to her maybe one time, my understanding of her content is she's asking for you to be fit, feminine, and friendly too. She's doing the same thing. She's just saying
she's just saying your framework behind it. She has a whole framework.
Yeah, she ain't out telling you to get men for their money and no.
Yeah, that still doesn't negate the fact that she tells you you need to be beautiful.
No, she's teaching you how to get a husband.
Give your brain a bath. She teaches you how to give your brain rewiring.
Wait a minute. Y'all didn't listen to what I said. I said she's still teaching the fit, feminine, and friendly message. She's still doing that.
Oh,
just because she's teaching you.
I think hold on. I think everybody on YouTube should be teaching the fit, feminine, and friendly message. Right. What are we talking about?
Right. But I'm saying women can't
negate that they relate to the message. Sprinkle. Fit, feminine, friendly has nothing to do with sprinkle. But here we go.
Yes,
I'm gonna let this keep going. Hit the like button.
Improvement. The moment you understand that there is somebody else, even if I don't look like you, but if I have the experience, why not want to learn from another person?
Amen.
I wouldn't judge where they're from. I wouldn't judge what they said. I'll sit back and think, does that make sense what she says? If so, I'm willing to learn.
So no one can question Black women. No one can correct Black women. No one can offer information and advice to Black women. Nobody.
Apologize for the lighting and the sound. I keep seeing this, this video, this German woman keep popping up all over social media, all over TikTok, and people responding to it. And, the responses that she's getting is what I'm more interested in. And as you just saw, the young lady that responded to her in the first clip, I would just have to say, like, what type of knowledge what type of knowledge can you gain from that type of mindset? I was always been a firm believer in, sometimes we could be so close to something, you cannot see the bigger picture of it because it's right here in our face all the damn time. Like it's hard to discern something when you're just right up against it. It's not until you kind of pull things back and really get like a wise shot that you can really see what's going on. And oftentimes that comes from people that are on the outside looking in on a situation because they're not, invested in the same way that we are, in the sense of not saying they don't deem it as important. It's because they're not going through, as she said, they're not going through what we're going through, right? I agree with that. However, because they're not going through what we're going through, there's no emotion in their thinking. There's no emotion tied to whatever, whatever they come to determine out of the situation. They could look at the situation rationally, logically, and make a decision. Mm-hmm. Nobody needs to walk in somebody's shoes to know something is wrong or know something is bad. I don't need to experience what you went through to know it's not okay just for knowing that it happened.
Thanks to the Most High, there are still people who know how to use their common sense. Just by the way that these two were talking, it already seems so much more enlightening. I mean, there's a difference when you sit down and talk to somebody who is just aggressive and uses curse words all of the time, or you sit down and you're talking to people who are willing to learn, to listen, who accept other people's experiences, opinions, and everything. This young woman with her beautiful self, she sounds so much more mature than the woman who's already married for 15 years. And you tell me, who is more eligible to tell or teach a woman how to become wifey material? Would it be the woman that was just speaking earlier, the first clip, or women like myself? I would give young women advice such as following. Did you do your inner work? How do you deal with rejection? Have you ever been in a situation that tested your energy, that tested everything in you? Are you willing to cater to a man? What triggers you? If something triggers you, have you tried to dig deep and then figure out what's the reason you're triggered? Because if you are in a relationship and things are triggering you when your man says something to you, you got to do that inner work. It is not what your man has told you. It is something that you have not worked on internally yet. Those are like the things that I would run with a woman, like those steps. I would run through all of these steps with her. Women like the one from the first clip will probably say things like, oh, we're way too traumatized. If he cannot help you heal your trauma, he's just going to add more trauma onto your trauma. No. I mean, way too stressful, too stressful. The moral of today's video is following. We should not make loving someone about their skin color. Love is energy. I understand when people are talking about Black love, you want to keep amongst your community. I understand that. But if you have somebody like myself, and I am not the only one, there are plenty of women like myself out there who are willing and want to teach other women how to do better for themselves. But it all starts with you. And I want to...
And I say, you know what's the funniest thing? You know, most of these women go to college where they're taught by women like her their whole life. These are your teachers. Y'all learn everything. All of a sudden, this woman try to tell you a little bit of constructive criticism, accountability. Now you don't take, a white woman can't tell you nothing when they done taught you everything.
That part right there. It is what it is. Did y'all hear what this sister said? She said some real stuff. She said, if you are triggered by a message, and I believe wholeheartedly in this, if someone says something to you and it provokes your emotions, you must check yourself to get over that. The fact that someone can say something to you and make you have a bad day, get you all in an uproar, that gives them power and authority over your life. That's the way I see it. Their words can cause you to respond in a physical manner. That's like a sick spell. I used to have real bad road rage, and that's how I came to my understanding. I said, wait a minute. This dude can say, give me the middle finger, and I'm ready to act irrational because how dare you talk to me like that? And it's like, wait a minute, man. That person don't know me. Their anger ain't even towards me. I didn't really do anything. You know what I'm saying? That's when they say that inner work. Stop being so selfish and think outside yourself. You can't say, no one should be able to say anything to you and trigger you. That's one of the arts of war. If you are easily manipulated and triggered, you are easily defeated. I'm gonna stop there.
That's my favorite book,
right?
The Art of War. I probably read it once a year just to refresh
Come
myself.
Come on. If you are easily triggered and manipulated, you will be easily conquered. I'll just dangle something in front of your face. Hey, you fat, and now you in a rage, you attacking me. You easily captured and defeated because your emotions.